Khan. Shalom, shalom, Israel, shalom to the Torah tribes, Yasha Allah, giving the course, all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahweh Ba'ashem, Mahashiach, Mamalak Yahweh Shah. That's all praises, honor, glorification unto the Most High God, Yahweh, in the name of his only begotten Son, Yahweh Shah, who the world refers to as Jesus Christ, and he is a Savior in the nation of Israel. All right, shalom, shalom. This is Brother Yasha Allah.
Brother Ahbayah.
Khan coming back, y'all, with yet another video through the Spirit and power, Yahweh Ba'ashem, Mahashiach Yahweh Shah. All right, and then, as you may know, Brother Ahbayah, right? He's part of WFI Atlanta. You can check out his Instagram, it's just Ahbayah, as well as his YouTube, as well as WFI Atlanta YouTube and Instagram, right? Check that out. A lot of edification going out through the Spirit, right? So Khan, that's a plug-in, right? So Khan, we can get into it. This is going into the pestilence shall rise. All right, pestilence is going to arise, and obviously it has been, right, over the few millennia, not even millennia, but like few hundred years, right? Pestilence has been arising. Now, pestilence, what pestilence is, real quick before we get out the precept, right? Let me just share my screen because people may not know what pestilence is. You know, they haven't read Matthew, they haven't read, Luke, right? So they don't know what these words mean, right? So let's go to pestilence. So this is pestilence, right? Pestilence basically essentially is a fatal epidemic disease, especially bubonic plague. Bubonic plague means, for example, the most commonly known bubonic plague would be the Black Death. We can get into that too, but it's a fatal epidemic disease, right? It's a plague. It's a disease, right? Synonym for pestilence is just disease, right? Contagious disease, and a very, very permanent example of a pestilence is what? COVID-19, right? So, but yeah, we can get into the scriptures real quick, right? Let's pull this. Got the first precept, right? Let's go to the book of Matthew, chapter 24, classic. Matthew, chapter 24, and verse number 6, right? So this is Yahweh Shah telling, right, his people about the many different signs that's going to unfold when all hell breaks loose, or the times of all hell breaking loose, right? Verse 6. And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that you be not troubled, for all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet. For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in divers places. All of these are the beginning of sorrows. You see that? So pestilences are going to be in diverse places, meaning you're going to see pestilence everywhere. You're going to see diseases everywhere, infectious diseases, right? You're going to see people with infections, people with bodily problems and issues, right? All of this happening. Why? Because that's one of the signs of the end of the world, right? Khan, you got it.
Khan, this book of Ezekiel, chapter 14, and verse 19. Or if I send a pestilence into that land and pour out my fury upon it in blood to cut off from it man and beast. So the Lord said, He giving different options, man. He can do this, or He can send a pestilence. How He wants to do to judge you, man? The judge is wicked behind place. Verse 20. Though Noah, Daniel, and Job were in it, as I live, saith the Lord Yahweh, they shall deliver neither son nor daughter, they shall but deliver their own souls by their righteousness. So when all hell breaking loose, man, you can't really save your own people, man. It could be the mercies of the Lord, but really you got to work on your own salvation with fear and trembling, man. You the only thing you can do. I mean, I can't even say it, man. Right? You only have verse 21. For thus saith the Lord Yahweh, how much more when I send my four sword judgments upon Jerusalem, the sword and the famine and the noisome beast and the pestilence to cut off from it man and beast. So the Lord going to send diverse things, judgments to cut man off from the earth, man. Right? To have only one in the city in this thing, right? Verse 22. Because you're going to have animals roaming around. You're going to have a famine as well. All hell going to be breaking loose. You're going to have people getting ravished, people getting kidnapped, right? Pestilence, right? Your own flesh eating its own self. All hell going to be breaking loose. Verse 22. Yet behold, therein shall be left a remnant that shall be brought forth, both sons and daughters, Behold, they shall come forth unto you, and you shall see their reward in their doings. You shall be comforted concerning the evil that I have brought upon Jerusalem, even concerning all that I have brought upon it, man. So you're gonna be seeing everything. You're gonna be, if you keep the commandments, you're gonna be comforted because you're gonna be that Job 5 being taken care of. You're gonna see all the things that the Lord is doing, right? But
That's right. That's right, man. Let's go to the book because pestilence is a curse, man. Right? Pestilence is a curse and it's a punishment on the people. All right. Let's go to the book of Jeremiah, chapter 14 and verse 10. Thus saith the Lord unto this people, right? What is this people talking about? It's talking about the hard-headed and stiff neck of Israel. All right. It says what? Thus have they loved to wander, they have not refrained their feet. Therefore the Lord doth not accept them. He will now remember their iniquity and visit their sins. You see that? The Lord is going to visit their sins, the 2/3, right? The 2/3, the Most High is going to remember their iniquity, right? Imagine that. We want the Lord to forget our iniquity, but here the Lord is remembering the iniquity, the 2/3. And Lord, we're not part of that number. You know what I'm saying? But eventually, in the kingdom, as he said, he will forget their iniquity. But during this time, the Lord said he's going to remember their iniquity, all right? And he's going to visit their sins. Verse 11. Then said the Lord unto me, pray not for this people for their good. When they fast, I will not hear their cry. And when they offer burnt offering and an oblation, I will not accept them, but I'll consume them by the sword and by the famine and by the pestilence. Those three alone, the sword, famine, and pestilence, can wipe out an entire nation, right? Literally, it can, right? The sword, right, is what? It's not, and don't think it's just a sword, right? The sword is any type of weapon, man, right? It's symbolic for any type of weapon. Don't think it's just a literal sword, right? Or, a little knife, right? Oh, how can a knife, kind of just wipe out hey, it's going into any type of weapon that these nations might use, right? And we know that the modern day sword is what? Damn, the gun, right? Guns, bombs, missiles, nukes, etc., all these type of weapons that they may use, right? That's the sword. It says, and by the famine, famine alone can wipe out millions of people, right? The lack of food and water. Look, you can't even go 4 days without water, right? So a lot of people, they're going to die by famine alone, right? Or when we be fed in those days, as the Lord said, my servant shall eat. That's Isaiah 65, verse 13 on down, right? But the Lord is going to consume the people by the famine, right? And by what? And by the pestilence, the disease. So these three alone, famine, the sword, and the disease, can wipe out an entire nation, and it will wipe out millions and if not billions of people, right? You got it.
what precept was that?
That was Jeremiah 14, and I started at verse 10 through 12.
I got precept with that. This book of Ezekiel, chapter 7, verse 15. It reads, I'll start verse 14. They have blown the trumpet, even to make all ready, but now goeth to the battle, for my wrath is upon all the multitude thereof. So the Lord's wrath is upon a very good multitude, man. Because no one's keeping the commandment. No one's doing no breakdowns, watching the videos, being sincere in this thing, going out to the highways and byways to prophesy the downfall of this nation. They being wicked. Gay Pride Month or Pride Month, whatever it's called. The alphabet group, the so-called Black Lives Matter, man. The Lord going to destroy all of that. Verse 15. The sword is without, and the pestilence and the famine within. So you're going to have that pestilence, that famine at the same time, man. Imagine you hungry, you about to pass out, you haven't eaten anything in like 3 to 7 days, right? All hell breaking loose, and there's a pestilence as well. Your flesh rot, all hell breaking loose. You got so-called zombies walking all over the place. You can't run away from them. They tear you to pieces, right? All hell gonna be breaking loose. That coronavirus was nothing, right? He that's in the field shall die with the sword, and he that's in the city, famine and pestilence, pestilence shall devour him. Because if you're in the city, there's not gonna be nothing in the stores, man. Everybody lives in the city. It's overpopulated in that thing, man. If you're in the city. And guess what? If you out in the country, you're gonna get put to death by Esau. Right? Go ahead and try to go in the farmland, man. They're gonna shoot you in the back. Right? They're not playing around. Verse 16. But they that escape of them shall escape and shall be on the mountain like doves of the valleys, all of them mourning everyone for his iniquity. So in that day, gonna have a lot of people mourning, being upset that they didn't keep the commandments. It was being slothful, being lukewarm in this thing, embarrassed to confess Yahweh while Yahweh shot. They're gonna be mourning for their iniquities, and it's gonna be too late in that day, man. It's gonna be too late. But come
on, that's right, man. Right, and pestilence is just one of the many things that the Lord can use to judge people, man. To judge the other nations, whether it's the other nations or whether it's his people. You know what I'm saying? Because let's get an example of that. Let's go to the book of Deuteronomy chapter 28, right? You know, back to the curses. Let's go to the book of Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse number right. Let me see when I'll start at. Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 21, right? It says, the Lord shall make the pestilence cleave unto thee until he have consumed thee from off the land, whither thou goest to possess it. You see that? So the Lord said that he's going to make the pestilence cleave onto us as a nation, as a people, right? As if we keep breaking these commandments. And that if we can see that, our people usually, right? They say that, you know, usually so-called black people in America, we suffer from what? Sickle cell anemia, right? I believe it's called sickle cell, right? Sickle cell, you know, when your blood cells are, I believe it's smaller or something that is off about our blood cells, right? Hey, who did that? The Lord did that. And it targets, you know, it happens more so to so-called blacks if in America, if I'm not mistaken, right, than any other people, right? Why is that? Right? Why is it happening to us? Why? Because hey, look, we're the Lord's people, and that's one of the pestilences that he chose to judge us with and to smite us with, right? So like, let's go to the book of Deuteronomy 28 and verse, right? Let's skip up Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse I'm sorry, verse 58. It says, if thou will not observe to do all the words of this law that are written in this book, meaning if you don't want to if you don't want to listen to the Most High and keep his commandments, that thou mayest fear this glorious and fearful name, Yahweh thy God, right? Then the Lord will make thy plagues wonderful, right? Hey, just because it says wonderful, don't think about Alice in Wonderland, right? Oh, the plagues are going to be wonderful. Wonderful meaning what? Great, right? Great in distress and power, right? It says, and the plagues of thy seed, even great plagues, and of long continuance, and sore sicknesses, and of long continuance, right? Moreover, he will bring upon thee all the diseases of Egypt, which thou wast afraid of, and they shall cleave unto thee. Also, every sickness and every plague, which is not written in the book of this law, then will the Lord bring upon thee until thou be destroyed. You see that? So the Lord said that, look, and this is one of the curses. It goes back to the curses as well. Pestilence, diseases, cleaving onto our people, onto our nation. So that when we eat some pork, right? Boom, now we got high blood pressure. Boom, now we got gout, right? Boom, now we got all these heart complications because we want to sin against Yahweh Bash and Yahweh Shah, right? So, Khan, you got it.
Khan, that's actually the spirit, because I think it was yesterday. I was, doing some shopping, looking around. We had for the grass, fertilizer, and stuff like that. I was thinking, like, did Adam have to use fertilizer and stuff like that back then? Abraham, when he was planting, had to use fertilizer. He had to use to kill the weed and stuff like that. Right? What you say?
I was just saying, hey, use the spray with the weed killer.
Yeah. The weed grass killer, man. Right? It's because the only reason why we have all those chemicals and stuff like that is that the reason why we have all this bad stuff this earth is defiled. This land is defiled, man. So the Lord sent pestilence to jack up this earth. It got innocent blood in it, man. Right? Defiled. All hell breaking loose. But back to the pestilence though, and that's on the lower level. The Lord wants to send a pestilence like none other before, man. Because the COVID-19, you couldn't believe. Hey, they kind of shut everything down. There was a time and place where you couldn't leave America, man. Right? But people already forgot about that. They out watching the playoff game, man. Kind of celebrating that the Hawks won. They're going to the next round. Right? They kind of forgot all about it. Man. This book of second Esdras, chapter 15, I'll start verse 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up to fight against another, and swords in their hands. So the Lord is giving you what's called an end time prophecy. When all hell break loose, he said, woe unto you, man. Destruction's coming to you if you still in that world when all hell break loose. You're gonna have one race versus another race, one nation, one country versus another country, right? Verse 16. For there shall be sedition among men. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard the kings or princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. But that's the point. Verse 17. And man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. So when that bigger pestilence come, when all hell break loose, they kind of give you a foreshadowing of The Walking Dead. If you played the game The Walking Dead, it was this man on the way to jail. And he saw one cop car pass, another cop car pass, a helicopter car. All hell broke loose. Next thing you know, hey, that was it, man. That was the end of the society. All hell broke loose, man. You can't go to a different state no more. They shut everything down. Same thing in this. You might be at camp. All hell break loose with the pestilence, a so-called zombie apocalypse. You can't go visit your auntie in the state, right? Your grandma in New York. You can't do nothing about it. It's too late. And it's prophesied in the Bible, and the Lord's not meant that he should lie. But Con, you got it.
Con, that's right, man. That's right. They're not going to make you or allow you to leave and allow you to do what you want to do, right? That's what the pestilence, that's what they do, man. Right? But Con, I kind of got this about the pestilence, right? It's the book of Sirach, chapter 38, right? And verse 1, and let's get down. It says, honor a physician with the honor due unto him, for the uses which you may have need of him, for the Lord have created him. Right? So the Lord is saying, hey, honor the physician. Physician is going into a doctor, because we all need doctors. Kings need doctors. Poor people need doctors, right? Everybody needs a doctor, right? At some point in time, you know what I'm saying? Your health is going to fail you, right? And you need someone to look at that, right? So who's going to do it? The doctor's going to do it, right? Because he's the specialist in that field of health, right? But it says that the Lord have created him, right? The Lord created all things. The Lord created. We have to understand that, yeah, this doctor, he knows what's up, but the Lord, ultimately, hey, he created him, right? So that's why it says, but let me just keep going though. Verse 2, for of the Most High cometh healing, and he shall receive honor of the King. You see that? So we have to understand that the Most High, he does all things, right? He does all things. We understand that, right? So he's the one that's in charge of the pestilence. He's in charge. He's the one that's in charge of the doctors, right? He's the one controlling them, right? The Lord is above them all. So we have to understand that, yes, the pestilence is going to come. Yes, famine is going to come. Yeah, the sword is going to come. But we have to remember that the Lord is in control of all these things. So the famine, if the Lord doesn't want the famine to touch you, he's not going to touch you. If the Lord doesn't want the pestilence to touch you, he's not going to touch you, right? No matter what happens, right? Because he's the one that's in control of it. I'm going to skip down to verse 9, right? It says, my son, in thy sickness be not negligent, right? But pray unto the Lord, and he will make thee whole. You see that? So the Lord is saying, look, when you're sick, don't be just sitting up in your bed and you're like, damn, well, I don't know why the Lord did this to me. I guess I'm just a sinner. I'm wicked. Right? No, the Lord said, look, in your sickness, don't be like that. Right? But pray unto the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahweh, and he'll make you whole. So that's how we have to understand that before we, kind of search out after, medicines and stuff like that, we ultimately have to first acknowledge Yahweh Bashem Yahweh, pray unto him that he will make us whole. Right? Verse 10, leave off from sin. This is how you get healed, right? Leave off from sin. So us sinning, so because and you might get sick out of nowhere. Like, damn, why I get sick, right? I've been washing my hands. You know what I'm saying? I'm using hand sanitizer. I'm putting my mask on, right? Why am I getting sick? Hey, because brother, you're going the hell off, right? So the Lord can give you some sickness. He can give you a disease. He can give you a cold. He can give you a fever. He can give you the flu. Even he can give you COVID, right? If need be, he can give you this disease because you're going the hell off, right? But it says, leave off from sin and order thy hands aright and cleanse thy heart from all wickedness. See that? And that's how you get ultimately healed, right? Through the Spirit, right? Of course, with the use of medicines. Khan, you got it.
Con. That's right. This is the book of Psalm, chapter 91, and verse 1. He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall abide under the shadow of the Almighty. And so you keep commandments, you in Yahweh Shai, you're gonna be in that shadow, man, in that pavilion, hiding under the rain, the destruction, being in the shadow at noonday, right? Verse
Mm-hmm.
I would say of the Lord, He is my refuge and my fortress, my God, but my power, and Him will I trust. Surely He shall deliver thee from the snare of the fowler and from the noisome pestilence. He shall cover thee with His feathers, and under His wings shalt thou trust. His trust shall be thy shield and buckler. Thou shalt not be afraid for the terror by night, nor for the arrow that flies by day, nor for the pestilence that walketh in the darkness, nor for the destruction that wasteth at noonday. So you believe in the Lord, you doing what you got to do, man. You out there being diligent, you're not slothful in business, you fervent in business, and you chiefly, sincerely believe in the Lord gonna protect you from everything. He's gonna protect you from the wild beasts. He's gonna protect you from the pestilence, man. He's gonna
Mm-hmm.
protect you in that day from wild men, from evil men, from the strange waters, like it says in Psalm 144, right? Verse 7. 1,000 shall fall at thy side, and 10,000 at thy right hand, but it shall not come nigh thee. So again, I'll just jump down to verse 10, right? There shall no evil befall thee, neither shall any plague come nigh thy dwelling. So you shouldn't be fearful of these things coming to the earth, because a lot of people was kind of spooked about that COVID-19. A lot of people was wearing the mask. Every time you cough, they would kind of look at you kind of crazy and stuff like that. When you walk to the grocery store, you didn't have your mask on, people kind of look at you like you crazy, kind of get out your way, man, looking you up and down, like you the problem, man, like you dirty, right? So a lot of people with faith, you can see like who has faith and who doesn't, man, that day, man. But if you really believe in the Lord, the angels are around about you, and you know that no plague is going to come down that dwelling. But
Mm-hmm. That's right, bro. That's right. Yeah, Khan, the Lord, he works in mysterious ways, man. Right? Khan. It's the book of Jeremiah, right? Chapter 16. Bro, it's like here, bro. Right? This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 16 and verse 4, right? Bro, it's just because the Lord is just getting on his people in Jeremiah, man. Right? Said though Moses and Samuel stood before me, yet all right, guys, like this is Jeremiah 16 and 4, right? It says, they shall die grievous deaths. So you dying slowly of a disease, bro, of Ebola, right? Hey, Ebola, hey, took people out in 2 days, bro. 48 hours, boom, you're dead, right? Back up in the spiritual realm. You know what I'm saying? So that, hey, that's serious. You know what I'm saying? Like this, this COVID stuff, it's not really like it's not serious like like Ebola and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? But it says in like smallpox, right? Smallpox killed a lot of people. You know what I'm saying? Getting bumps all over your, rashes and bumps all over your face, right? You know, and they have it's kind of it's eradicated, but by 1980, nobody had it anymore. But still, bro, it was killing a lot of people. Like AIDS as well, HIV, bro. You know what I'm saying? Killing a lot of people, right? And a lot of it started in the East Coast, in the East Coast by some gay people, bro. That's where it started, right? In the East Coast of America. Coincidence? You know, judge for yourself, right? But it says they shall die of grievous deaths. That's a grievous death right there. It's dying slowly of a famine, dying slowly of a sickness, right? Because when we sick, we sitting up in bed, and brothers that have moms, and sisters that have moms, you know what I'm saying? When we get sick, at least at least from what I see, moms really get um nice. They become nice to you, right? They kind of extra nice. So like, oh, it's okay. You can lay down, right? Put the thing on your head, right? Checking your temperature, giving you soup and stuff like that. You'd be able to lay down, and kind of skip school, right? Like, yeah, I'm chilling at school, right? Saying kind of watching cartoons, right? Hey, hey, you know what I'm saying? When you're sick, you kind of like being sick now, right? Because, you're laying up in bed and stuff like that. But the thing is, imagine you being sick of a disease you don't even know what's going on. You're throwing up, right? You're not getting enough water. You're not getting enough sleep in a damn wilderness, and you're by yourself, bro. That's a grievous death right there. And that's going to happen to a lot of people, right? They're going to be dying by themselves, throwing up, right? Probably down, their body decomposing slowly, right? They're hungry as hell, and they don't even know what the hell's going on, and they died there. That's a grievous death. You know what I'm saying? And Lord willing, we're not part of that number. It says, they shall die of grievous deaths. They shall not be lamented. Right? Nobody's going to be crying, right? They're going to try to they're going to be on the move, bro. They don't give a damn. You dying or not. You got some food, right? You got some water, or if not, we're going to keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? They don't care about the, hey, nobody's going to care. They're going to try to make it out, right, for themselves and for the loved ones. They should not be lamented, neither shall they be buried. Right? Nobody's going to give a damn about these dead bodies. You're going to be running over, right? Jumping over it, man, like it's some damn hurdles, right? They're not going to try to, oh, let's bury this man, right? Oh, okay, let's dig that hole 6 feet. Come on, let's dig it. No, they're going to be running, right? It says, but they shall be as dung upon the face of the earth, and they shall be consumed by the sword and by famine, and their carcasses shall be meat for the fowls of heaven and for the beasts of the earth. Right, Khan, you got it.
Yeah, that pestilence. Lord always sending pestilence as a judgment, man.
Yeah.
Hey, let me start real quick in 2 Samuel chapter 24, man. Right? Because right when David got off, hey, the Lord had to send a cruel message to David. This is because 2 Samuel chapter 24, verse 12. And it reads, go and say unto David, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, I offer thee 3 things. Choose thee one of them that I may do it unto thee. So Gad came to David and told him and said unto him, shall 7 years of famine come unto thee in thy land? Or wilt thou flee 3 months for thy enemies? While they pursue thee? Or that there be 3 days pestilence in the land? Now advise, and see what answer I shall return to him that sent me. And David said unto Gad, I am in great strait. Let us fall now into the hand of the Lord, for his mercies are great, and let me not fall into the hand of man. Let's see what the Lord picked, right? Verse 15. So the Lord sent a pestilence upon Israel from the morning even to the time appointed, and there died of the people from Dan even to Beersheba 70,000 men. So the Lord loves that pestilence, man. He loves making you uncomfortable, because that pestilence can make you uncomfortable. You sick, your head got fever, You might be at school, your stomach not feeling right, you feeling some type of way, right? You can't really go to sleep, man. Your head throbbing, right? You kind of uncomfortable, and that's on a low level. How much more when you're in the wilderness? It's dark, no lights. You hear screaming, all hell breaking loose. Your skin kind of pining away. You got pestilence, fleas, all hell breaking loose, man. Right? So, you got it.
That's right, man. That's right. And I believe, in First Kings, right? David. Now, I'm not saying this is a pestilence, right? But it is most certainly a health complication, right? Because let's go to the book of First Kings, chapter 1 and verse 1. Now, King David was old and stricken in years, and they covered him with clothes, but he got no heat. He wasn't able to generate his own body heat, right? Now, you have something called homeostasis, right? Homeostasis is your body's way of keeping your body levels, the levels of your body stable, right? So you have your body temperature, for example, keeping it at 98.6 degrees Fahrenheit, stuff like that. Your body has the own way of doing that, right? Con. Yeah, let me speed up, right? So your body has your own way of doing that. And so I believe, if I'm not mistaken, through homeostasis, that's when you create your own body heat to keep your body warm, right? But David, he couldn't do that when at this age, right? So that is a type of kind of sickness or health complication. You see that? And even David got it, man, right? And David was a man of the Lord, right? So but yeah, we can bring out our closing precepts now.
That's a lot of barrel, man. Yeah, you got it, man. That pestilence ain't no joke. And then look into the pestilence in your car. You got ants in the car, all hell breaking loose, right? Lord can do some. Lord can do different things, man. Make you uncomfortable. He gets in a plague of spiders. He know what you're afraid of. You got brothers ain't probably afraid of spiders, man. And guess what? He gonna use that against you. You might see it in your bathroom. It's gonna hop on you, man. Right? Just because you don't want to read 3 chapters. You can probably get yours first.
Yeah, hold on, let me see. Oh, shoot.
Cause I could probably get one. Get a classic. If you already have yours, you can bring it out though.
You got yours. You got yours.
All right, this book of First Thessalonians, chapter 5, and 2. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. So all hell can break loose whenever, as a thief in the night. It might be when you're sleeping, when you're working, when you're going to and fro, running errands. It could be any time. Verse 3. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction come upon them as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. But ye, brethren, are not in darkness, that the day shall overtake you as a thief. So don't be in darkness, man, that the day overtake you as a thief. You committing evil deeds that you know the Lord wouldn't like. Because right when you committing that evil deed, the Lord going to come like a thief in the night. God forbid the Lord has, God forbid, but Lord willing, the Lord has mercy on you.
Bro. That's right. Hold on. Let me get two part. All right. Let's go to the book of Sirach, chapter 30, and verse 14. Right. It says, "Better is the poor being sound and strong of constitution than a rich man that is afflicted in his body. Health and good estate of body are above all gold, and a strong body above infinite wealth." So health and good estate of body, that's above all gold, right? So you want to make sure. And how do you get that health and good state of body? First and foremost, keeping the commandments of the Most High God, man, right? Because within these commandments, within these laws, it teaches you how to eat. You got something called the dietary law, right? Leviticus chapter 11, and I believe Deuteronomy chapter 14, right? And Genesis chapter 1, verses 29 on down, right? It tells you how to eat, right? And it tells you that you should be eating good, because we know that nutrition, right, and your diet plays a very, very a huge role in your health, right? As well as keeping the commandments of the Most High God, first and foremost, right? Now let's get the other precept. This is the book of Isaiah chapter 65 in the classic, right? Isaiah chapter 65 and verse number 13, right? It says, "Therefore thus saith the Lord God, behold, my servant shall eat, but ye shall be hungry. Behold, my servant shall drink, but ye shall be thirsty. Behold, my servant shall rejoice, and ye shall be ashamed." So in the day when all hell breaks loose and that pestilence is coming, famine, sword, right? The Lord's chosen, hey, they're going to be preserved from that, right? And they're not, that pestilence is not going to touch them. All right. So, Khan. With that, we'd like to give all honor, glory, and praise unto Yahweh Shema Mashak Abashah. Right. This is Brother Yasha Allah.
Brother Ahbayah.
Khan coming back, y'all, with yet another video through the spirit power Yahweh Shema Mashak Abashah. Right. Lord willing, this is edifying. Shalom. Till next time.
Shalom.